My name is Marty Dearie, and I'm an animal keeper at Smithsonian National Zoo. I've been a keeper for 15 years, and quite frankly, being a part of Bao Bao's journey from a cub to this trip to China has been the most amazing thing I've ever been a part of. I smile every day when I come to work. I love being here, and it's just, quite frankly, the most amazing thing I've ever been a part of. So we've definitely been hearing from the public about how sad they are to see Bao leave. And I get that. I'm a very emotional person. I've been with Bao Bao for her entire life. So to see her go, of course, I'm going to be sad. But more importantly to me, I'm extraordinarily proud of what this team has done and the journey that Bao herself has been on. And getting to have her go to China to be a part of this bigger mission, this bigger effort to save this amazing species, I couldn't be more proud of her. I couldn't be more proud of the team. And I'm extremely excited about this new step for her. I was the keeper that was lucky enough to be chosen to travel with Bao. I held Bao Bao on the second day of her life. I was there when she was born. And to me, this is the culmination of this amazing journey with her. It even started before she was born. I got to go to China to learn the techniques that they use with their cubs. And then I've been with her for basically her entire life, and now I get to take her back to China, which I think is an amazing experience for me. Thanks to our transportation sponsor, FedEx, I'm actually going to be traveling with Bao Bao in one of their cargo planes. So I'll be seated in the same space with her, and my job with the veterinarian that will be traveling with us will be to monitor her behaviors, to feed her if she needs it, to provide companionship to her if she needs it, in general, just to make sure that her trip is as smooth and as comfortable for her as possible. One of the things we do with our giant pandas on a routine basis is training, and most of that training is done for the care of the animals, so allowing the vet team to draw blood or to do ultrasounds. There's also cognitive things that, it's really interesting for the bears to learn new behaviors and that stuff. But one of the things we have to do with Bao is get her ready for the crate. And with any animal, introducing a new object into her environment can be a little unsettling. They want to get used to it, they want to know what it is. So we don't just put the crate in on day one and she walks into it and she goes on her trip. What we'll do, and what we are doing, is we have the crate in the area that she would shift out. So every day she can walk in and out of it, get used to it. And then over time we'll shut a door, have her come into the crate with one door shut. We'll be feeding her so she's very comfortable in there. And then eventually the plan is that she will be shut in with the front and back doors closed. We'll be feeding her the whole time and she'll be calm. And that way she'll be very ready for the trip and she won't be unsettled by it. My role with Bao Bao in China will be to stay with her for a few days and to provide the same sorts of things that I did with her on the plane. So sort of that link between her life here at Smithsonian National Zoo and her new life in China. She's obviously going to be in a country where they speak different languages, so having that sort of familiar face around will be helpful to her and hopefully make it a much smoother transition for her. So one of the most frequent questions we've been getting recently is how is Bao going to adjust to the fact that she's moving to China and they obviously speak a different language than we do here. That really shouldn't be a big problem for her. All of the behaviors and all the things that we ask her to do, not only do they have an English word, but they also have a visual cue. And so I will pass those things off to our Chinese colleagues. And she's a smart animal. She will learn the Chinese words very quickly when they pair those with those visual cues. So it should not be a big challenge for her. Bao Bao is a very independent bear. Even from the very early days when she was going outside with her mother, she would just kind of do her own thing. And even with her keepers, she's kind of that way. So to me, Bao Bao represents, most importantly, our cooperative relationship with our Chinese colleagues. That's very important. China is the biggest country in the world, and we need them involved in conservation. So the pandas have been such an amazing way to get our scientists and Chinese scientists working together on conservation issues. Giant pandas are an amazing animal to get people interested in conservation. There are many people that come through this zoo. They live in DC. They maybe have never seen an exotic animal like this. And pandas have an amazing ability to sort of draw people in. And they get people thinking about, how do I save a particular species? While giant pandas are doing really well, there are still threats to them and to the animals in their habitat. So you can think about things like your own carbon footprint or what products you may buy that could potentially come out of their habitat and harm either the pandas or their other animals that live within their habitat. So I kind of look at the pandas as sort of almost that gateway into thinking about conservation.